Greene. It is Thursday. It is a little bit after 12 o'clock. I'm 2 minutes late. At least I'm not like 4 hours or something like that late again. So I'm 2 minutes late, but we are here. We are live, and it is time to talk about what's happening in this world. This is the Greenhouse Effect. It is Thursday, January 21st. It is the day after the inauguration of Joe Biden as president. And so we are now in a new phase in this country, and it just feels lighter. I don't know quite what it is. It just feels a little bit light in the country. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell me why it feels so light in the country, but it does, and I can't put my finger on it, but it does feel lighter. Anyway, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm wearing my I'm Speaking shirt that was donated by the Flearys. So Mr. Earl Fleary and Miss Victoria Fleary, my constant supporters. What's up, Eris? How you doing, Soro? Happy belated Founders Day. And so we got a lot to talk about today. And no more lies, yes. Well, so here's the thing, right? Depending on which side of the political realm you fall upon, you either now believe the lies that are going to be coming out of Washington, or you believe that there are no more lies in Washington. And I'm inclined to believe that not that there are no more lies. I just think that the lies now come with a softer hand, right? And so it depends on how you like your lies, right? Do you like your lies coming straight at you, or do you like them, swaddled in a little bit of like programs on this side and benefits on that side, and maybe a $2,000 check? So I think most people would rather be lied to and be given a $2,000 check. So that's that's neither here nor there, right? Because when you get into the game of politics, politicians by definition are people who have to lie, because you literally cannot satisfy everybody at the same time. You can't be a everything person, right? Uh, there is this whole thing about you can please some of the people some of the time and all of the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time, right? That's simply not possible. Well, look at this, Anselm, Slim. So Anselm just popped in the commentary right there. I went to high school with Anselm, and that's back in Trinidad, and so that's me and Anselm go way, way, way back. So it's really good to see him on the feed over here. So maybe we're actually reaching people. Go look at that. All right. So again, politics is just that kind of thing where you're going to be lied to. You know, and at a certain point in time, you have to understand that not everybody was able to go and give you everything that you need, right? At a certain point in time, you're not going to get what you want from a politician, and that politician has to make a decision as to whether or not they're going to tell you the truth, which is you are not a priority right now, or lie to you and say, I'm going to make you a priority as soon as I get around to it. And most of the times, that's where all of the lying starts, and that's where everything falls down, right? So yes, will there be less lying? Probably, but it doesn't mean that there will not be any lying. So, all right, Jen Psaki was refreshing. Who's Jen Psaki? I don't even know who Jen Psaki is. It was throwing me curveballs at the onset. So come on now, give me a chance. So anyway, we are in week number 4 as cat owners. So we have a new cat, and for those of you who are pet owners, you know that having a cat means that you accommodate its every whim, not your every whim. So we're now trying to figure out how this cat figures into our daily day life. And so these kids that have been begging for a cat for a long, long time now have a cat. And one of the things that was a deal breaker was that somebody else besides me, right? Oh, the new White House press secretary. Yes, yes, that was refreshing. Then he actually and she actually had a press conference, which is crazy, right? Um, so, um, so we have a new. So one of the deals was that I would not be the only person changing the cat litter, and I would like for y'all to guess how many times the kids have changed the cat litter since we've had this cat. Anybody guessing? You ready for guessing? Anybody got the number? It is one time. One time. And here's the thing. I work downstairs in the basement. Aisha works on the first floor, and the kids work in various areas when they're either here or playing or stuff like that. Eris says Puppy is my cat. Puppy is not just my cat. So Puppy comes across and will, starve for attention. And when I try to get work done, I'm like, all right, Puppy, you got to go over there. Puppy then goes to the cat litter, which is on the other end of the basement, and takes a crap every single time. Like it's almost like, oh, you don't want to play with me? I'm a I'm gonna go stink up your whole entire work area, because that's what I do as a cat. So Puppy goes to take a crap every single time that I am downstairs in the working area, and it's like clockwork. She comes over, she walks across my screen, she embarrasses me whenever I'm in meetings, and then when I'm like, all right, I've got to get work done, you can sit over there. She goes, work, huh? All right, let's see you work in a toxic environment, and then goes to take a crap. Which brings me to I need different kitty litter because this thing ain't working. I've got the people who gave us the cat. They suggested that we get the world's best kitty litter, which is the name of it. I personally don't think that it's the world's best. So I think that we need to go get. Fresh Step was working really well, but apparently that's nothing but chalk. So I'm gonna try the Arm and Hammer. Somebody suggested that Arm and Hammer is a good one. But God, that I don't know what that cat is eating. Well, actually, I know exactly what the cat is eating. Exactly what the cat is eating. I'm the one feeding the cat. Well, actually, that's the one thing that I don't do. Everybody else, that's the duty that they want to take. Everybody wants to feed the cat. I don't have to feed the cat, but we know what the cat is eating, right? Get unscented litter, says my mother, who has a dog. Why am I getting unscented litter? That's what I have. I have the world's best litter. That's what the name of the package says. It's the world's best litter. It's unscented. The basement smells like cat poop. I'm getting the scented stuff. I gotta do what's good for me. Um, uh, Eris, please don't call Marianne. Oh God, Marianne's just gonna yell at me. Eris is over here calling in resources. Miss Marianne is just going to yell at me. I'll expect to get a diatribe in the commentary. Anyway, so enough about the cat. So yesterday, we had an inauguration, a tranquil and peaceful transference of power in the American government. And for a lot of us, 2 weeks ago, we didn't think that was going to happen. Um, and I'm kind of like really thankful because I think that having what happened when they stormed the Capitol, when they on the 6th, kind of put everybody on notice, and it put some of the people who were playing around with this. It gave them a second look at what it is that they were creating, and so that by the time we got to the actual inauguration, people were like, "All right, we're not playing around with this," because could you imagine if this happened on Inauguration Day, if what happened on January 6th happened on Inauguration Day, if we were caught with our pants down on Inauguration Day on the world stage, oh my God, it would have been this. That would have been absolutely the end of. It would have been the end of it. It would be the end of it. Happy 21st day of the 21st year of the 21st century. Is it really? 21st year of the 21st day. It is. Well, thank you for that, Mike. That's some real nerd stuff, right? Like these are the friends that I have. Because anybody knows me for more than 5 minutes, y'all know I'm a nerd, right? So that's that. Those are the kind of friends I have that know that stuff. Anyway, but yes, thank you, Mike. So I'm glad that all of this stuff played out 2 weeks ago, and we were able to right the ship in time for the inauguration. Is it pomp and circumstance? Is it us showing the world that we're this great thing? And is it like most of it nonsensical? Like, could you do all of this stuff literally in the back, in a room in the Oval Office or something? Yes, absolutely. But we are all about spectacle in this country. We are all about pomp and circumstance. We are all about having an outward facing, image so that people can know that we are great and we are this power that is able to transfer power from one person to another peacefully and not have people rioting in the street. It was important for us to have that, especially after 2 weeks ago. So I'm actually I'm actually happy that what happened 2 weeks ago happened then and not now, because it would have been far worse. Even though I don't think that there still wouldn't be a whole bunch of people on the mall because of COVID, but I do think that it would have been an absolute travesty. Um, so we now have a new president, number 46. Number 46, Joe Biden. First of all, I didn't know Biden's middle name was that. Like, I've already forgotten it. It's weird, right? So, like, that's a weird middle name. Um, I thought it was Robert Biden, but it turns to be Robert Fum. I don't even know. Anyway, so Biden took office, and he was gracious in his speech. He talked about healing the nation, which is all the things that he said that he would do. Talked about attacking the virus and getting us back to who we are and being the president for both the Robinette. Yeah, that's an interesting middle name. I'd love to know what the story behind that is. Not now, but like sometime when I'm not doing anything. Somebody tell me what the story of Robinette is. Um, anyway, so he talked about all the rest of that stuff, and I think that we are at a new stage, a new era in this country, and I'm happy about it. Primarily because before there was a lot of rhetoric, right? Even with at the inaugural speech of 45, it was about doom and gloom, and I'm like, this is supposed to be this time when invigorate, right? You invigorate the entire nation and you bring them on board, and we talk about what's going to happen going forward. And that speech 4 years ago was almost like we're going to war, and we're going to war with ourselves, right? So Biden's speech put me a little bit at ease. I am one of those people who like their politicians to be the theatrical players that they actually are. I am under no pretense that these people are have any kind of like altruistic goal for running a country. Everybody has their point of view. Everybody has the goals that they have, and when it comes to the president is the chief actor. The president is the person who's supposed to instill in the country that we are civil, right? That we are a country that can come together, have arguments, learn from those arguments, move apart, but also have this move it back, right? Yes, because I am dramatic. But the head of the country is less of a, for me, is less of a somebody who uses a bully pulpit and more of a person who is a negotiator. It's like when you have one of those star-studded teams like the Brooklyn Nets, right? The coach can't be also star-studded. The coach has to be a navigator of men, right? The coach doesn't necessarily have to teach these guys how to play basketball. He has to teach them how to get along with each other. And that's the same thing with a president of a nation like the United States. The president doesn't necessarily have to teach people how to govern. The president has to be the one who is the great communicator. Oh my God, I just used a great communicator. Oh, great. All the Republican people are going to be like, well, that was Ronald Reagan. Well, get my point, right? So anyway, so my point is that it is good to see somebody who is acting presidential, somebody who is acting like they are in charge of a very, very large nation, which has a lot of problems. And so Joe Biden is that for me. So I'm fine with that. All right, so that's the highbrow stuff. Let's talk about fashion. Oh, Jesus Lord. Woo! People came out to stunt. Let me tell you. Wow. It was amazing. First of all the Biden family had matching clothes and face masks. They all look like well dressed. What do you call it? Power Rangers. It was awesome. I was like, everybody's like, all right, you're gonna pick this color. You're gonna dress from head to toe in that color, including your face mask. We're gonna work this out, right? Then we had Kamala's nephew, I think it was, showed up with like some Air Force Ones, something like that, and people lost their mind. It was like, how could you wear these shoes? How could you wear these shoes at an inauguration? I was like, them shoes that he's wearing probably cost more than all the shoes that y'all are wearing. So step back, right? That the people who were saying that were definitely the get off my lawn, you young whippersnapper crowd, and right. So that was definitely what was coming out of that. The dude is 20-something years old, or if that old. He's at an inauguration. What's he supposed to wear? He wears what his generation thinks is fly, right? So yes, let him have that. So, yeah, monochromatic was definitely the name of the fashion game. And then we had Michelle Obama. Oh Lord, whoo, whoo. She didn't come to play with y'all today. She did not come to play with y'all, not one bit. Them doors open, and it was like, bump, 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 bump. And I was like, oh. I know Joe Biden was like, really? It's my day. It's my day. My day. You know? Can I do the old man in the room? No, I'm not going to do that again. It was the hair, the makeup, the pantsuit, the long flow. Oh, it was on point. I know Barack is like, I'm just here so I don't get fined, right? Because like nobody saw Barack at that moment, right? Everybody was looking at Michelle Obama. She killed it, like murdered that, right? So it was quite spectacular. We had everything from those outfits, and Dr. Biden looked really good. That sparkling coat and Kamala looked really great. Everybody was arguing, she wearing blue or she wearing purple. I suggest that y'all get your TVs adjusted because she was definitely wearing purple. It was purple. She made a point of it being purple because it was a throwback to Shirley Chisholm, right? So it was purple. For those of you who were thinking it was blue, it was purple. Let's just put that to bed right there. There was also a news outlet that tweeted that she was wearing purple to honor Shirley Chisholm, but also a nod to her sorority. I was like, oh, Jesus. Like, they've been talking about this women's sorority for weeks and weeks and weeks now, and about the fact that the sorority colors are pink and green. Just ask Vogue, because they went with the pink and green cover instead of the cover that that Kamala Harris's people actually chose. Right? So, like, it's pink and green. Her colors are pink and green. The purple is not a nod to her sorority. And I think somebody who posted that was like, this is what happens when you don't have black people in your newsroom. You make stupid mistakes like that. Anyway, let's see. The only person I was looking at was Michelle, and the other women were also awesome. She came to slay. Burple. It was blue, purple, Burple. It was a Houston newspaper. Yeah, it's like, come on now, y'all are just being lazy at this point. And then we had some of the performers. So we had Lady Gaga. I will say this. Regardless of how you feel about Lady Gaga, she has she has had an amazing journey. Amazing journey. Like, I remember Lady Gaga when she was wearing the meat suit to the Grammys. Y'all remember that? She was a stunt, right? And then she made an album with Bennett, and all of a sudden people were like, but wait, she can actually sing. And there's been a transformation of this woman, right? Like, first of all, Lady Gaga could always sing. She's gotten better as the years have gone on, but she killed that national anthem. She absolutely murdered it. But that dress was everything. People were saying that she had a mockingjay. It was a dove. Y'all calm down, right? It was a dove. It was symbol of the fact that we're desiring peace in our country right now, and she was singing the anthem to instill peace in our country. It was not a mockingjay. Y'all need to stop watching young adult TV. Anyway, so she's an amazing. If y'all have been sleeping on Lady Gaga, y'all need to wake the hell up. She's dope. She's dope. Not my absolute forte in music, but she is absolutely an amazing artist. And then we had J-Lo. And I saw a prayer on Facebook that said, Lord, please give me an agent that has the same kind of fire and determination of J-Lo's agent, because she is winning. First of all, J-Lo had an album in the last 10 years, like really an album. It was a chart topper album. And she had a song a banger that people have been singing outside of the Latino community. You know, because that's like asking whether or not Marshall Montano has had a banger. The only people who know that are the people who are Caribbean and will follow that. I'm talking about a top pop. Like, the woman has not been musically relevant in years, right? Her movies suck. But somehow she booked the Super Bowl. She booked. There was something else that she was on that I was like, why is J-Lo doing this? And now she's singing "America the Beautiful" at the inauguration. What? What? She got engaged to Alex. That's another dude who's had a reclamation of a career, because he was on the outs. And now he's back on the top of the throne. Alec Rodriguez. Anyway, J-Lo's had some vocal training recently. Not enough, because J-Lo, on the other side of the thing, is like, if you're going to invite J-Lo to do something, I don't know that singing and only singing is the way that you want to go with her. I don't know. That's for me. I'm not a J-Lo fan when it comes to music. Like, is she a great performer? Absolutely. She can dance and choreograph, and like when she sings and doing that together, yes, that makes sense. But her to stand up there and just sing, that was a bad choice for me. They just wanted, for some reason, to have the most prominent person from that demographic singing on the stage. And again, whoever her agent is, that dude needs an Academy Award, because he be acting. He be acting like his client is worthwhile. And then, I know this got a lot of people. Yeah, she was on New York Rockin' Eve. Well, everybody's on New York Rockin' Eve, right? Like, I still expect them to bring out Dick Clark any minute now. Vinny was saying, I was thinking there was a decade relevant performer from the teens, Lady Gaga, the 00s, J-Lo, and the 90s for Garth Brooks. So nothing from the now. It's just like they couldn't get Selena Gomez or one of those Ariana Grande to sing. And so, and then at the end, she breaks out into saying something in Spanish, which is fine with me. But then she sings her own song. She tacks on her own song to the back of the anthem. Yes, that demographic. I mean, Latino. I said it before, Anthony. I'm not being pejorative. Um, so the I, at that part, I was like, yeah, you're wrong for that. This is not a pop concert. This is not you trying to sell another one. That part I was like, that was. Johnny said it was the booty. Well, I don't know that they asked her to sing because they wanted to see her booty. Although you did see Bill Clinton looking at her a little bit like, move over, Hillary. I need to check this out over here. Anyway, that's a running joke with Bill Clinton. Clinton checks out everybody at the inaugurations. They let NWA perform, followed by Public Enemy. Could you imagine? Oh my God, that would have been. There would have been news reports going throughout the world. That would have been fantastic. Fantastic. Had a hologram of Easy E up on it. Oh God. Thank you for that. Stan, thank you. You win. You win. You win. Thank you. You. That's you. Anyway, and then Garth Brooks gets up there and sings Amazing Grace. Again, I don't know. Not in the wheelhouse. So I don't know. I did, and then he asked everybody to sing along with him. And I didn't know anybody sad to sing along with him. I didn't hear anybody, but that was. And then dude didn't know how to get out. Everybody had explicit instructions. I guarantee you there were rehearsals and emails and videos sent and confirmations about how you leave the stage when you are done singing. Garth Brooks ignored all of them. He was like, oh, where do I go? Which way do I go? Which way do I go? Which way do I go? And then he goes back up the stairs, right? He goes back up the stairs, and the guys who are standing at the door are like, oh shit. He's not supposed to come up this way. All right, quick, turn, open the door, let him out. It was, oh God, Garth Brooks made my day. Garth Brooks made my day. But who really made my day and has become the star of the inauguration is our favorite grumpy old man from the good state of Brooklyn originally, Mr. Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders came to inauguration like this was a pit stop on his way to get groceries. Bernie Sanders sat in that chair by himself with his adorable mittens and didn't say nothing to nobody. He pulled out his phone, took a picture. Bernie Sanders was like, yo, I'm just here so I don't get fined. I don't want to be here. I've been running for this office for 400 years, and this dude is the one that y'all picked. But Bernie Sanders is my hero. My man just sat there, hand crossed over, like, yeah, dude. I think that is the greatest part of it. The memes, yes, Eris, the memes are hilarious. I've seen everything from him being in the Mandalorian in Grogu's container. I've seen him at the Last Supper. I've seen him as part of the Golden Girls. I have seen him in that Friday. I've seen him in Where's Waldo, and I was able to find him in the Where's Waldo. People went bananas. Bananas. It was hilarious. But the thing that's funny about it is, in the picture, there's nobody around him. Like, doesn't anybody want to talk to Bernie Sanders? Like, is he actually the grumpy old uncle of the Senate that nobody actually wants to talk to? Because like when people came down, people shook hands, they talked to people, they asked how it was going, they're fist bumping and doing all the rest of that stuff. Like, didn't anybody want to talk to Bernie Sanders? Like, Bernie Sanders had less people talking to him than Mike Pence did. People actually went over and said hello to Mike Pence. It's like, hey, where's your boss? You seen your boss? Is your boss around? You, you, are you representing your? Are you now the boss? Did he abdicate? Like, hey, Mike, I'm talking to you, Mike. Mike. it was it was hilarious. It was hilarious. I love Bernie Sanders. I don't care what anybody says. I hope Bernie Sanders continues to run for president until the day he dies. I think that is what this country needs. This country needs a grumpy old man yelling at you from across the podium, talking about the stuff that you are doing, and then when he doesn't get elected, sit and be curmudgeon at the inauguration. I love Bernie Sanders. That is, it says he's not well liked in the Senate. Well, he's an independent, right? So, like, you never know which way he's going to go, although he always leans one way. But the whole point about it is that Bernie Sanders is the exemplification of, I don't really want to be here. I really, really, really want to be there. So I thought that was hilarious. I think that the country is one of the things about this country that you can always see, and because of Twitter and Instagram and all the rest of that, is that you can see how people can take pleasure and humor out of things that some otherwise other places will cause pain. And I think that's a real testament to our First Amendment, where people can say whatever they want and be who they want to be. So I find that really ingratiating that people were able to laugh about that stuff. He's more well liked than Ted Cruz. Yeah, nobody likes Ted Cruz, not from his party or not. So Bernie Sanders is my hero, and I posted this this morning. For those of you who are wondering, if Bernie Sanders became president of the United States, that's the exact same outfit that he would be wearing. Don't think that he's gonna wear anything special. He ain't wearing no long coat or tie or yada yada. That's the exact outfit that Bernie Sanders would come to his own inauguration in, with those mittens. he put his hand on the Bible with those mittens and be like, "So help me God, so help me God. Now everybody get off my lawn." Oh man, you know what? I think we should just elect him as president just to see that scene, just to see Bernie Sanders yelling at everybody to get off the podium. All right, everybody go home. I've got executive orders to go sign. Everybody get off. Oh God. Oh, I'm having way too much fun with this. Our youth poet laureate was amazing. As a spoken word artist myself, I was completely enthralled with her. I thought that she did an amazing job. I think that the pressure of standing there and having to deliver that piece, which I know that she probably practiced 5 million times before she got up there, I think it was one of the symbols of a brighter future for me. Take what you will from the inauguration, but being able to see that woman up there and delivering that piece was awesome. Really interesting story that they talked about on CBS was that Oprah provided the coat to Maya Angelou when she did the inauguration speech, right? And so when she did her inauguration poet. And so she reached out to the young lady and said, "Hey, listen, I'd like to do something for you. I'd like to buy your coat. I'd like to buy you a coat for you to wear at the inauguration." And she said, it reported that she said to Oprah, "I already picked out my coat. It's yellow. I like my coat. I don't want a new coat." Now, that's balls. That is baller. When you said Oprah is like, "Yeah, you could keep your coat. I already got something. I'm not some poor kid that you need to you need to buy a coat because I'm somehow don't have proper clothes in order to wear the inauguration." And I'm sure that that's not what the sentiment was or the refusal of it was. She liked her coat. I don't know. I'll tell you this right now. I love my hats, and y'all know that I'm known for wearing hats, and I love my hats. But if I was going to be speaking at the inauguration, and Oprah calls me up or Denzel calls me up and says, "Hey, listen, young buck, I'd like to do something nice for you. I want to buy you a new hat." Even if I had the most favorite hat that I ever seen in my entire life, and that was what I planned on wearing, I'm taking the hat. Why? Because I get to say that I was wearing a hat that Oprah or Denzel bought me. But that's just me, right? Which is why she's a baller, right? Her name is Amanda Gorham. You're right. What you say, Amanda Gorman is already a bestseller, does not come out until September. That's dope. That right there is dope, right? And I'll come back to that. So she refused Oprah's offer to buy her a coat. She wore her own coat. Oprah did buy her the earrings and the what you call it, a ring, which was in the shape of a caged bird. To throw back to Maya Angelou. So I thought that that was a great story. Standing your ground, saying like, "This is who I am. I don't care who you are. I'm going to represent myself in this particular way, regardless." But for me, I'd have taken the hat because that's just me, and I'm like that. But it is what it is. But yeah, so I love that Amanda Gorman's book is going to really be, selling out, and it doesn't come out until September. Why? Because the arts get crapped on in this country. They get defunded. They act like learning poetry and music and dance and all the rest of that stuff is something that is inconsequential. And the discipline that you learn from indulging in the arts will go with you throughout your life. And people and students are worse off for not having art education in their lives or having to pay for it throughout their high school education. It's a travesty. And the crazy thing about it is that on one hand, you are saying, it's not important to teach these kids arts in the schools, but then on the other hand, on the grandest stage of the nation, you bring in singers, you bring in poets, and if there was an actual parade, you would have dancers and people playing musical instruments. So clearly, in order to celebrate this country, we need artists, but we're not gonna give these artists any money in order to develop from a young age. What? There's a cognitive dissonance that happens when lawmakers get down to the nitty gritty and start talking about what gets funded and what doesn't get funded. And again, it all goes back to who gets to lobby and who has the ear of lawmakers. But I think that that's one of the greatest travesties of this country. Every time we want to celebrate, we roll out artists. We ask people to come up with poems. We ask people to come up with songs. I tell people to create an alternative reality with movies and television and documentaries. And then we're like, but we expect them to just sprout out of the concrete, right? Or to grow up in a cornfield by osmosis. We're not going to fund the training of these young artists. And it makes absolutely no sense. And it is cutting the development of these students off, whatever age it happens. It's cutting the development of these students off because, again, there is a certain discipline that happens when you have to learn how to play the trombone, when you have to learn how to sing in cadence with the rest of a choir, when you have to write and rewrite a poem and memorize it and learn it in order to present on a stage. That discipline goes with you. And when you remove that practice early on in a child's development, you are automatically dooming them to have to pick up that discipline in other places. And sometimes they don't get it. And sometimes it doesn't happen. It's the same argument for sports. but not everybody can be sporty. Not everybody can kick a football. Not everybody can, throw a baseball. Not everybody can swim or hit a tennis ball. All right, these things are important. I don't know how else to. I don't know what it needs to happen in people's minds to convince them that arts and sports and stuff like that in the development of a young child are important. You know what needs to happen? Somebody from the arts needs to be president. Oh my God, I'm gonna say it again, like Ronald Reagan, or somebody from sports arenas. The arena of sports needs to become president or high level legislators. What was the name of the Bill Bradley in Jersey after playing basketball? Right, those are people that understand what having the discipline and having the developmental stages of arts and sports meant to them when they were coming up. And so that's an important part of the development. And so when they think about it and they think about where they're going to allocate money, those are the types of people that will advocate for arts education and sports education. And and it just makes sense to me. And I don't understand why it doesn't make sense to everybody. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna close out today on that note. I am pretty happy about the direction that we are going. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that I could talk about, but I want everybody to get out there, be safe. Those of you who are able to get a vaccine, good luck to you. It's kind of crazy in New York, and they are they're shutting down vaccination places because they're not getting the doses that they need, because the government is actually holding back some of the vaccines so that the people who got the first dose can get the second dose, or else the first dose is useless. Doc says, I find that arts are promoted more than other countries than it's here, especially when it comes to theater. I know for experience that movies are not picked up here in the U.S. will be picked up in Europe and Asia. Absolutely. We need people who are in the arts and local boards of education everywhere. That's absolutely true, right? And if you are in the arts and you're looking for something to do, all of these school boards and the community boards need volunteers. So if you're in the arts, volunteer in your local government. And again, we come back full circle. We're talking about the fact that your vote and your activity in the political process matters. And it doesn't necessarily only have to be in a presidential election. When you're looking for a place to be active, go to your local community board and your local school board, because these things matter, right? So anyway, be safe out there. I love you all. This has been the Greenhouse Effect. I am your host, Hayden Greene, and enjoy your weekend, and I will see you next Thursday.